This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined by the three-weight world champion, double Olympic gold medalist, the GOAT, Claressa Shields. Claressa, big news announced last week. You're joining MMA. Talk me through this move to the professional.
It was more just a conversation with the PFL. Like, it was a very lucrative deal. It wasn't just like a come fight one of our girls and then go back to boxing. It was like kind of gave me a direction to make MMA like my career. And also too, it still allowed me to be a boxer. So it was like a win-win for me. I get to train and get my money in boxing. And then I get to also do MMA and then start training. And, you know, also having a chance to fight for the $1 million up in the PFL season in year 2022. which was all great for me. And it was a very good, friendly conversation to where they can understand like who I am. And I'm a hard worker. I'm a winner. And I don't like, just being put at a disadvantage. So we were able to talk about that and get some plans down about training and stuff. And everything just kind of went together and boom, here we are.
Now, when you released the news, a lot of people were like, is Claressa done with boxing? Is she just moving to MMA permanently? But we know that's not the case.
No.
How are you going to manage the two? And just give us an outline of what you're thinking on how it's going to work.
I mean, boxing is so easy for me. I've been doing it for so many years. I've been at the top level for so long, early on in my career. Boxing is not going to be hard for me. I'm never going to forget how to box. So I'm still going to do my training camps and give myself 4 to 6 weeks to get ready for a fight as I've been doing. But right after the fights, I'm going back to my training camps to start getting ready for MMA. I give myself a good week, 2 weeks off, and then I'm right back to training. So it's gonna be pretty easy, honestly, like the boxing part of it. Right now I'm just gonna focus on my weaknesses as far as the MMA and build there.
How much experience do you have generally doing MMA? Have you done it previously, or is this completely new to you?
Oh, I've been doing it for like a few months, and now I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm training with John Jones, Holly Holm, and I've learned so much only after being here for about a week. I've learned just so much being here and working with Coach Wink and Coach Greg Jackson. And I can say I came here knowing, small bits and parts of about like everything, but I'm at like a good 10-15% now. Like, I know how to get up after being taken down. I know how to avoid takedowns. I know like the ring generalship as far as in the octagon. I've learned that my leg can go above my head as in how far I kick. And it's just stuff that I didn't know because I never used those muscles before. You ain't never seen me kick nobody.
What's been sort of the most challenging thing so far? What's the key differences you found between the training between boxing and MMA?
I've always trained 2 or 3 times a day as far as in boxing, so that's not any different. I think that what I've been training on is different because MMA is more of like technique. I spend 2 hours working on wrestling. I spend 2 hours working on jiu-jitsu. I spend 2 hours working on, Muay Thai and the kicking. And just be doing that throughout the whole day, it can be tiring. But up in boxing, it's more of like you spending 2 hours boxing, you spending 2 hours doing workouts to strengthen, your core or to strengthen your triceps, whatever. Like, you spend 2 hours doing that. And then you spend, maybe going and get like a quick run in. That's taking about a good 45 to 30 minutes, So that makes my 3 workouts for boxing. But MMA is just a little bit more, a little bit more precise on what we're working on. So 2 hours for everything, just so I can get it in me and learn it. And it's every day. So I haven't had a day off from any of my MMA training since I've been down here in Albuquerque. And I have another week here. So It's going great.
Did you feel like you needed that sort of change? You've done so well in boxing, 3-weight world champion. Did you need that different sort of challenge? And is that what MMA brings for you?
It's definitely a different challenge, for sure. And I just read a quote somewhere that said, if your dreams don't scare you a little bit, it's not worth dreaming. So, signing the PFL contract, I had anxiety for a couple of days. I was a little nervous. I was a little, I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't eat. And it wasn't because I was like, scared. It was like, I got to start preparing. And my main thing is always being prepared. And I live by the 5 Ps my entire life. And that's proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it's like, you sign this big contract, you're doing all these interviews, you're trending on Google, you're trending on Twitter, you're trending on Instagram. Now, you really got to get to work. And, like, you really have to, like, make sure that because I have a timeline to when I'm supposed to be in the octagon fight, and that's May, June of next year. So it's like just sitting around and just waiting for the day to come is not going to help me be prepared. It's like I got to start getting ready right now.
Mm. So as I understand it from what I've read, sort of straight away in May, June time, as you say, it's going to be, is it correct in saying it's a series of attraction fights and then with a view in 2021 to go into the Professional Fighters League?
Yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. Depends on how fast I develop and how comfortable me and my team are on if we make the decision to go to 2022, the PFL League. But that's the goal overall. Like, the goal isn't to keep fighting the special attraction. Like, the goal is to be in the PFL season and go for the $1 million. Like, that's the overall goal. What
kind of opponents would you be looking at facing? Because obviously this is new for you, but with that.
I'm not picking none of that. All I'm doing is training. Like, if they were going to just give me it's not really about the kind of opponents that I'm looking forward to fighting. It's just like, look, no matter who I'm fighting against, I got to be ready. So even if a girl is a good stand-up or she's a good striker, she still knows how to take me down. She still knows how to kick. She still has other offenses. So it's like, I can't get in there and be simple-minded like, oh, they said this girl only boxes or she only does stand-up. And then she get in there and first thing she does is try to take me down. Like, that's going to be every girl game plan, to take me down. And if she isn't good at doing takedowns and if she isn't good at being on the ground, she's going to do her best to try and get good over this next few months. I don't know who I'm supposed to be lined up to fight. I just know that I'm going to train hard enough that if they do put me in there with somebody who knows jiu-jitsu and wrestling and kicking, I'm not going to be at a full disadvantage. I'm going to be like, you know what? I can handle this and I'm ready. So that's my goal. I know they're not going to put me in there with somebody who's just easy to beat because of who I am. I'm a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Like, I'm a super athlete. They're going to put me in there with somebody else who's a super athlete. And super athletes like to win. So those girls are going to come in there with the winning mindset, knowing that they can't outbox me. That's just not possible. If that's their game plan, they're stupid. That's it. And that's my mindset. So it's like, if that's their game plan, what should my game plan be? And my game plan is to know what to do when being taken down, how to get back up, how to keep my composure, how to kick, how to do everything that I need to do to win a fight. So I'm learning everything. I'm not just going to stick to my strengths, my boxing, and go in there every 10 seconds of the first round and knock girls out. Like, I'm going to be ready for, like, the whole 5 minutes of every round that I fight.
You mentioned Holly Holm you've been training with. How much of an inspiration was seeing what she's done in moving from boxing to MMA and your decision, and sort of inspiring you, when you're going to start your MMA career?
She just kind of proved that it can be done, and I've been a fan of hers. She's the first pay-per-view fight with the UFC that I've ever bought so many years ago, and that was her versus Ronda Rousey. Of course, it wasn't anything against Ronda Rousey, but I felt like Holly Holm was of course the better boxer. At the time, Ronda Rousey was trying to prove to people that she can box, and it was like, she's great at her arm bar and she's great at being on the ground, but boxing is something totally different, So it was more of just like, I really was excited about that fight. But Holly has given me some great advice so far already. So I think that the transition to MMA will be great, having her and Johnny Bones on my side and them just always pushing me and teaching me, especially with the coaches, Coach Wink and Coach Greg Jackson.
Having interviewed you a few times and seeing what you've done in boxing, I'm probably asking a stupid question here, but I imagine the goal is to become world champion in MMA.
Yeah, that's the overall goal, to be a boxing MMA champion and be an MMA champion all at the same time. I feel like if if I can't do it, it can't be done. Period. Like if Claressa Shields can be a boxer and be a world champion and be an MMA fighter and be a world champion at the same time, it cannot be done. But I'm going to show them that I can do it. I am the it factor. I'm that 1%.
Just lastly on this, what have you found to be the reaction from the fans and fellow professionals to your move?
The MMA fans have been very embracing, very nice. Some, you have your trolls here and there, but it's been more love than more hate by far. My MMA brothers and sisters, my boxing MMA brothers and sisters have been very supportive also. I've got messages from Andre Ward, Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Andre Ward, Andre Berto. It's so many boxers have reached out to me and said, like, look, we nervous, but we like, if we believe in anybody going to MMA and doing well, like, we believe you can do it. So they've been like super supportive and just like told them that they're going to be at the fights, that they're going to be watching, and that means a lot too. So it's been kind of great on both ends. Some boxing fans are a little bit upset because they feel like me doing MMA is going to take away from the time that I can spend helping women's boxing. But at the same time, I feel like me adding MMA to my resume and to my legacy will make me be a bigger women's star as far as in boxing, and I'll get more attention and more recognition, and I'll be able to let the world know, like, look, MMA is flourishing because of this, and women's boxing is not flourishing because of this. I'll be able to let them know because I'm in both worlds now.
Just a couple more, Claressa, and I appreciate you coming on. Firstly, we've seen a bit of a resurgence in women's boxing over the past few months here in the UK, especially. A lot of interest, a lot of world title fights. I just want to know if you kept an eye on what's been going on specifically here and what have you made of it?
Yeah, I watched Terry Harper and Natasha Jonas fight. Of course, I watched Kate Taylor versus Delphine Persoon. I missed her last fight, though. It was against I missed Kate Taylor's last fight. I can't remember who it was against. She just fought again after Delphine Persoon, right? Or is that fight coming up?
Yeah. She
fought again?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so I missed that full card completely. I watched Hannah Rankin versus Savannah Marshall. Like, I keep up with women's boxing. I watched Michaela Mayer become world champion. I just keep up with all of it. I only missed like one fight. I recently just missed Daniel Du Bois versus Joe Joyce too, which that was a fight I was looking forward to, and I freaking missed it. So it's been a lot going on in my life. But yes, I've been watching, and just applaud to Eddie Hearn for putting the women on at this time and giving them that platform along with the men. But the boxing in the USA is just not the same like that.
The boxing fans watching this will want to know what your plans are for your boxing career. You've got world titles at middleweight. The only other person that has one at middleweight is, of course, Savannah Marshall. You've got world titles at light middleweight. What are you looking at in terms of boxing?
Well, let's just say something. Savannah Marshall has my vacant WBC title. I mean, my vacant WBO title. So she could have fought me for all the belts, but Eddie Hearn pressed the WBO to tell them to make me vacate the belt because I'm fighting my next fight at 154 pounds to become undisputed against Marie-Eve Dicaire. So as far as in for them, that was pretty soft shit to do. Not going to hold you. Like, you could have just fought me, and if you're so good, like she said she is, she could have won all the belts, right? But Savannah Marshall know that she can't beat me. So let's just leave that there. As far as in where I'm going with boxing, I'm fighting again in February. So we're making an announcement soon. We're just getting off some fine details. But there's no way in hell I would ever give up all my belts and just retire to do MMA and, make these other girls who be calling me out or who supposedly want to fight me to make them happy. If you want to be a world champion at 160, 154, you still got to come see me. Even though I'm doing MMA, I ain't going nowhere. I'm still there. So send them contracts and let's make some fights happen. Until then, they won't be world championships. Savannah Marshall got lucky that the WBO asked me, did I want to vacate my belt or did I want to fight at or was I gonna pick the choose to fight at 54, which I already had my fight lined up to fight at 154. for the legacy of it. So it was like I kind of had to just look like, okay, I'm fighting at 54, and once I told them that, they vacated that belt, But overall, Savannah Marshall, she know what's up.
Were you impressed with her performance against Hannah Rankin? And also, I know Hannah Rankin's a close friend of yours, and she can come again.
I'm not really impressed by any of Savannah Marshall fights. Congrats to her and everything, but she's still just not on my level as far as in thinking that she can beat me on the pro level. Like she living off a fight that happened when I was 17 years old, and she hasn't accomplished nothing since. But congrats to her. She got the knockout. I just feel like Hannah Rankin game plan against me was to kind of stay back, use her range and use her length, and then her game plan against Savannah Marshall was to go out there and kind of overpower her and try to fight her. And she fought pretty good early on, but she threw a lot of power shots in the beginning of the fight, which made her not have any power toward the end. And it made her tired also when Savannah Marshall landed some very big shots to get the stoppage. So, congrats to her on that. But I think that Hannah Rankin should have had a better game plan. And I think that she just wanted to prove something so bad and fight her that she just went out there just swinging.
And one thing I wanted to touch on is your sort of relationship with the guys from the Olympic squads that you've been on, the likes of Errol Spence, Shakur Stevenson. You all seem to have quite a close bond, and I'm sure you would have watched Spence on Saturday night. I'm sure you're going to watch Shakur on Saturday as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watch my brothers fight. I don't miss none of my brothers fight. Like those are my family members. Those are my bros, and they support me even before some of these networks got on board to support me. Like they've been the ones voicing their opinion, and always whenever they had a chance to speak on me, they always speak very highly and very positive about me. So I have a lot of respect and a whole lot of love for my brothers.
Brilliant. Claressa, I'll leave it there. Really appreciate your time. Best of luck with your MMA training. Appreciate it.
Thank you.